everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right, we have a letter, and the letter is entitled Family, Inheritance, and Religion. All right, here we go. I am the oldest daughter of 3 siblings. My siblings and I are between the ages of early 40s and mid 50s. My mother is still living. My father passed away back in 99. My mother was raised a Jehovah's Witness and is still practicing. My father was raised Baptist and was still practicing up until he passed. When my father passed away back in 99, my siblings and I were between the ages of 16 and elementary school age. We were all underage and too young to understand and to call any shots. My father owned quite a few properties, including 2 houses. It was always assumed that everything my dad owned was passed to my mother because she was the spouse. My grandmother and my uncles on my father's side mentioned several times to my sisters and I that the 2 houses and the properties belonged to my mother and all of us, his daughters, which is us. At that time, my sisters and I didn't fully understand. We really didn't ask questions. We assumed everything went straight to my mom, and that was that. We went on with our lives and our careers, as you should have. Fast forward 20 years plus, we're still moving on with our lives. We are all getting along. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but something came up to where my mom wanted my sisters and I to go with her to see a lawyer. Of course, we all asked, why? She says I need y'all to sign a document stating the house that she is living in will be strictly under her name. We were all baffled. Up until this point, we didn't even know our name was on anything, although my grandmother and my uncles made a couple of comments about it. Oh, looks like your mama getting kind of tricky here. Okay? Oh, when my grandmother and my uncles had made these comments, it wasn't a full-on explanation. It was just comments here and there. Now that I'm older, I see that they wanted us to know without ruffling feathers that I guess all of your names was on this document. He probably left the properties to all of you kids and the spouse, not just the spouse. Okay. Prior to this, she has already sold the other property, but there was really no question asked because we all assumed everything was hers. We get to the lawyer's office and we are told that we are signing our inheritance away and the house she is currently living in will be solely in her name. Well, what's with your mother? Why would she do this? We were still cool. We didn't find anything wrong with that. Then she states that if anything was to happen to her, my youngest sister and her husband will have the house and the land that Dad left for all of us. That would have been I'd have stopped it right there. Say, I'm not signing anything. I wouldn't do it. Your mother trying to be tricky. She didn't say. She just stayed quiet. But it's, to our understanding, it's because my youngest sister is the only one who is a Jehovah's Witness. Could be. Prior to all of this, my mom did say my younger sister was the favorite, and it's because they go to the Kingdom Hall. Well, they would go without my signature. I wouldn't sign a darn thing. I would have walked right out of that office. I'm fine with her being the favorite because they have the Kingdom Hall in common. What I'm not okay with is it's never stated in the deed that we should sign our inheritance away due to lack of sharing religion. My parents didn't even share religion. This is your mom orchestrating this against you kids because you don't follow her religion. That's wrong. That's dead wrong. I'm not okay with signing my inheritance away so my sister's husband could take ownership, and especially due to him being the financial provider of my sister. Of course, if they take control, he's the man of the house. It's going to be like it's his house, and he'll leave it to his people. Okay? Your mom, she brainwashed. Your mom has been brainwashed by the religion. I mentioned to my mother, if you don't want to share the inheritance with me and two of my sisters, that's fine. Could you at least give the inheritance to my youngest sister and the grandchildren so they can keep the house and the family? I don't think our father would have liked to give his property to the men that we are married to. My mother said no. She's giving it to my younger sister and her husband. She can't give it if you don't sign the papers. If you don't sign, she can't give nothing. All right? In fact, when your mom passes away, you and your siblings can decide what to do with the property. All right? I wouldn't sign it. We did sign the document. Wow. Because we didn't want to be at the table arguing before the lawyer. What difference that make? That lawyer's heard a lot of arguing before. And I didn't want to sit there and argue with my mom and my sister, although I disagreed and I was already an heir. I want to thank you ahead for your thoughts and advice. Well, the thing is, you already did it. I wouldn't have done it. But, this hindsight now. It's hindsight. So just all you can do is walk away and leave it alone now. No more talk. No, you should have wrote me before you signed those papers. You see, I never would have done it. But since you did it, now you have nothing to say about what your mom does with it. Even if your mom decides to sell it and give the money to the Kingdom Hall. I've heard people doing that. You understand? She has full control. And you and your siblings have just given it to her. So my advice is to leave it alone. Don't even talk about it anymore, because the more that you talk about it and think about it is going to bring your energy down. And you don't want that. You want to stay high vibrational so that you can move forward and enjoy your life. So forget about them, forget about the property, forget about the Kingdom Hall, and move forward and be happy. All right? Don't drag this along. Leave it alone, get some sleep, and forget about it. I hope you understand the message today, and I really hope that it helps someone. For those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. And if you're looking for today's affirmation, the link is also in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.